welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's Friday, May 24th. You're watching News 2 on VIA Channel 4 and 504. I'm Leslie Kamisiang. Topping our stories tonight, Wang F. Louis Hospital employees may see a pay increase in 2 months after a week-long demonstration opposing legislation to use awarded funds from the Virgin Islands Medical Assistance Program as a result of a reconciliation of the territory's healthcare agencies to go towards paying vendors and government entities. Governor Albert Bryan issued a statement imploring that JFL should pay their outstanding debts.
I just want to know, is there a date set forth that we can know actually in point when we are going to get our raise?
St. Croix senators met with the Wang F. Louis Hospital employees to discuss wage increases and funding for better working conditions.
Give us a date or something. When is it going to happen? Is it going to happen this year or is it going to happen next year?
After a week-long demonstration in opposition to Bill number 33-0072, appropriating over $39 million of reconciliation money to the Virgin Islands Medical Assistance Program to go toward paying government vendors. JFL Hospital employees were provided a timeline by legislators.
We're hoping that within the next 60 days.
Something is going to happen.
Yes. No, something will happen within the next 60 days. It will happen within the next 60 days.
Governor Albert Bryan released a statement informing that the recent moves of the new majority in promising raises to employers by directing a one-time cash infusion to a reoccurring annual expenditure is a flashback to exactly the kind of political pandering that has created our abysmal financial situation. Raises must be sustained every 2 weeks, and a one-time infusion of Medicaid reimbursement funds will not address this problem. Some JFL employees informed that they have contributed up to 20 to 30 years of service, while the cost of living has significantly gone up, but their wages has not, and further they have endured hostile and challenging work environments.
I got terminated twice. Union brought me back because I reported stuff. They say when you see something, report it. And when you report it, they fire you. People here are scared.
Senators implored that they have allocated monies to the JFL hospital on many occasions, but it is up to the governing board and the hospital CEO to spend the money where they see fit.
We are going to stay here for an indefinite period of time, and we know that they're currently doing the construction with a temporary facility. It's not as prudent to put a lot of financial resources in a building that you intend to tear down.
Bill number 33-0072 itemized up to 20 payments to several departments and vendors, which included the sum of over $9 million to the Governor Wang F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center to be paid directly to the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority, as well as the sum of over $5 million to the hospital to pay outstanding taxes owed by the Virgin Islands Bureau of Internal Revenue, which OMB director informed would go directly to paying tax returns. For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Governor Bryan stated that he understands employees want raises and they deserve them, but he implored that we must change course and, unlike the past, take care of our existing debts before we start creating new ones. Governor Bryan, meanwhile, also recently signed a proclamation recognizing African Heritage Week and African Liberation Day. African Liberation Day is observed annually on May 25th. Roughly 200 million people in the Americas alone identify as being of African descent. Millions more live around the world. In the territory, the Virgin Islands legislature commemorated the event through a ceremony on the grounds of the Senate on Friday. Here's more from that event.
Spirit, and our ancestors symbolically represent Earth. Today we pour water to the ground while calling names of our ancestors. We are making their strength our strength.
Meanwhile, Virgin Islands students once again showed off their flair for science, technology, engineering, math, and the arts at the 2019 STEAM Fair on St. Thomas. The community came out today and showed their support for various student projects on display at the University of the Virgin Islands campus. The annual STEAM Fair boasts an impressive array of creative projects in grade level specific categories from K to 12. Here's more from that event.
Today is a STEAM Day. We do it every year. We have not done it in the last 2 years because of the hurricane, but normally we have a week of STEM activities. So the students compete for 3 days, and then the last day is our culminating activity, which is a STEAM Day. This year we did not have the competition piece, but we wanted to bring back at least the culminating activity where the children come and they do hands-on activities. So if you notice, all the children are at different stations completing activities with district employees. Along with myself, there's Gerald Walters, the science coordinator, and Yvonne Benjamin, the math coordinator. So together we put this activity together. And our big thing this year is a planetarium that's up there, $20,000 piece of equipment. And the children get to go into outer space and feel like they're really in outer space and enjoy that experience in the planetarium.
The importance of having this event is beyond what you can imagine. Students learn better when they touch, feel, when they activate, when they build, they create. Those are the things that we encourage our students to do. We want our students to be engaged in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And those are all of the activities that they are working on today.
Coming up next, a fundraiser for a beloved member of the St. Thomas community, plus a preview of the Women's Coalition race on St. Croix. We'll be right back. Dr. Mark Livingston has been serving St. Thomas for many decades. Now, in his time of need, the St. Thomas community is pulling together to assist him in getting much needed help. On Saturday, June 1st, the Livingston Music Festival, a musical event benefiting his recovery, will be held at the Virgin Islands Montessori School and Peter Gruber International Academy. The Music Fest begins at 4 p.m. and features 7 bands. Kids' activities are available until 8 p.m. All proceeds will help get Dr. Livingston the highly specialized therapy he needs, up to 6 hours of rehabilitation per day, according to event organizers. Their goal is to raise $150,000. Tickets are $35 for adults and $10 for children. Here's more on this fundraiser.
The family, the Livingstons, have fallen under a very difficult time, which started with their home getting severely damaged in the storms. And after that, Dr. Livingston had to have open heart surgery, which unfortunately wasn't completely successful. So on February 14th, he had to have his second open heart surgery. And when he was having the heart surgery, he suffered a severe stroke. Unfortunately, the therapy he needs was denied by the insurance, and he needs $50,000 a month to cover this therapy. And since we'd like to provide 3 months of therapy that he needs, our goal with this fundraiser is to raise $150,000.
Amy Gibbs is a really good friend of mine, and a few weeks ago she came up to me with this huge idea of really creating this benefit for Dr. Livingston and getting him the funds he needs. And when I heard Amy's story and really the tough predicament that the family's in, and I know Mark and I know the Livingstons, but really just understanding how much he's loved in the community, I felt like I had to help Amy, and her idea is amazing, and really we have such a big team of volunteers. It's been really nice to see the community and so many people just come together and support the event.
The 35th annual women's race, organized by the Women's Coalition of St. Croix, will be held on Saturday, June 2nd through the streets of Frederiksted. It's an afternoon of fun for the entire family with great entertainment and special musical guests. Now, you can pre-register this Saturday at Cost You Less, Kmart, in Sunny Isles and Plaza Extra West from 10 a.m. to noon, or at the Women's Coalition office in Christiansted, Closet to Closet in Peters Rest, and online at www.wcstx.org. Sorry, gentlemen, the race is only for women, but you are strongly encouraged to attend and cheer them on.
Women and girls of any age can run. Moms with strollers or babies in wraps. People who are in wheelchairs can also run. Those are the only wheels that we allow in the race. There's no age limit as long as you're healthy enough to run the 2-mile course. We have 2 other special things that we're doing this year for the 35th anniversary. We have a virtual women's race, so that means that if you are not on St. Croix, you are not left out. You can participate anywhere and promote peace and healing. Our virtual women race will start on the day of the physical women race, the St. Croix women race, on June 2nd, and you register and you run wherever you are, and then you can post your time up on a page that we will have ready for you. But you have to do it before July 5th. We love to hear what the women race means to people. And so we have a mini campaign going called My Women Race that we're inviting people to share with us their experiences in the women race. Whatever the special experience is to you, share that with us in a short video, 1 minute or less, please. Post it on your Instagram or Facebook page and tag us, and we will share it, or call me. I'm Debbie Benjamin at the Women's Coalition office at 340-773-9272.
As a programming reminder to our viewers, there will be no newscast on Monday as VIA and Channel 2 observe Memorial Day. On Monday, we will join the rest of the country in honoring the brave men and women of the armed forces who made the ultimate sacrifice for their countries. So we will be covering Memorial Day events, and we'll have that for you on Wednesday's newscast. Coming up next, the Pet of the Week, plus our News 2 AccuWeather forecast. We'll be back. Welcome back. This week's Pet of the Week is from St. Croix's Animal Welfare Center Adoption Center. Meet Harvey.
This is Harvey. He's a 1-year-old pit bull mix, and he's one of our more tenured residents here at Pet Place. And he was found out at the bulky hangar at the airport. And the interesting thing about Harvey here is that when he was found, he is such a chill dog, but he's a little timid. So the people that turned Harvey in, it took them about 2 to 3 weeks to earn his trust. But as you can tell, for a 1-year-old pit bull mix, he is a very chill, very even-tempered dog, and he loves to take naps. So he is one of our wonderful residents here at the Pet Place. Pit bull and pit bull mixes often have kind of a bad rap, undeservingly so. And so Harvey breaks that trend by showing that he is super chill and very even-tempered. And the interesting thing about Harvey is that he doesn't get fired up very much. He doesn't bark a lot, but when he does, all of the staff here, we all pay attention because he is a great observer of all of the activities. So when he barks, we all pay attention. Harvey's close to full grown, so we don't expect Harvey to get any bigger. So if you're looking for a lovable adult dog, Harvey is definitely fitting the bill for you.
Harvey is so cute. I have a soft spot in my heart for pit bulls. If you're interested in adopting Harvey, you can call the St. Croix Animal Welfare Center at 778-1650 or visit their website at www.stcroixawc.org. We've also featured pets from the Humane Society of St. Thomas. You can check them out by calling 775-0599 or visiting www.hsstt.com. Now, let's see what the weather looks like. We got a little bit of rain. I know we're all happy. Our News 2 AccuWeather forecast is next.
Well,
Well, we're talking about that tropical weather and overall pretty good weather for the most part. I should say at least the chance for a shower or two, but overall pattern is not too bad in around the islands. You can see some of that dry air trying to wedge in here from the north, but there's no luck at this point. In fact, it's going to be that humidity and that surge from the south here that brings in a few showers from time to time, but nothing too crazy as we are still talking about quiet weather in and around the tropical region. So you can see the Leeward Islands back towards Puerto Rico, San Juan looking pretty good, but the big picture does show where all the activity is, and we continue to watch this area right here over by Central America where there's been showers and numerous thunderstorms here. So could be talking about a complex that could become tropical in nature in the coming days. Too far out to say, but still an area to worth watch over the next, say, couple of days into the next couple of weeks. So we could see a shower or two into the nighttime hours. Overnight lows right around 78. Going to be nice and muggy. Into your St. John forecast, we go right around 87. Again, maybe that passing shower or two. Typically this time of year, we are more dry. So this is going to be more or less that pattern that continues into St. Thomas as well. A pop shower with temperatures right around 87. St. Croix, overall a nice day, but then that afternoon sunshine could give way to a cloud that bubbles up with a 15-minute shower. You know how those go, and then kind of leaving the area. Out of the waters, we've been seeing a little bit of a chop around 2 to 4 feet. Winds coming in out of the east about 10 to 15, so that's picking up the waves just a little bit. Pretty consistent here too on the Caribbean side where we've had wave heights up to 4 feet with that easterly breeze. That's about 10 to 15 knots, so that's going to make the waters just a bit choppy from time to time. Looking at the next few days, we can see the shower chances stick around for your Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, but notice the temperature is not much of a change here as we're well into the 80s, overnight temperatures into the upper 70s with more wet weather into the early part of the week.
Thank you for that. Coming up next, Alex Randall's News and Comments plus Sports from Gary with our News 2 Sports. We'll be right back.
This is News 2. It's Alex Randall here with News and Comment. It would help if we would all just stop getting older. I tell my kids all the time, don't get old. There is no future in it. And the Virgin Islands is getting older. 20 years ago, about 8.5% of our population was age 65. 10 years ago, that was up to 14%. You can expect the 2020 census is going to show the same, more elders. Now, the good news is that people are living longer. The bad news is they expect to receive pensions and retirement payments, and there are fewer young people paying into the retirement system. Meanwhile, older people don't have babies. In a normal year, Schneider Hospital gets about 2,000 babies a year. Last year it was only 1,000. Map that forward, and you have half as many kids going to kindergarten. Map that forward 18 years and half as many high school graduates. You cannot keep that up forever. Sooner or later, we need new young people. Really good news out of St. John. Island Green Living transported almost 400,000 aluminum cans for recycling. That's like 15,000 pounds. That's like 7 tons. And aluminum's pretty light stuff. That's a lot of cans. Now, the really important thing here is that aluminum is among the most recyclable of all materials. If you save your aluminum cans and send them off to the recycler, eventually they come back as new aluminum cans. Aluminum doesn't go away, so we either recycle it or it goes to the landfill, which is pretty stupid. Recycling really works. And we could do it with plastic and glass as well. We are doing it, recycling plastic. Save your plastic milk jugs and water bottles and bring them to Plaza Extra every Saturday. They're being recycled too. It used to be the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration managed Caribbean fisheries from afar. Now they have drafted separate plans, one for Puerto Rico, one for St. Croix, one for St. Thomas, St. John. The main plan is not to disrupt local fisher people. Nevertheless, the local Fisheries Management Council has prohibited procurement of all sea urchins, sea cucumbers, and a variety of species of grouper and parrotfish. Queen conch has a 50,000-pound limit on St. Croix, 0 on St. Thomas. The goal of the whole plan is not to put an undue burden on the fishermen and ensure that the fish stocks are there for the long term. At least now the decisions are being made locally. Is it too early to think about St. Croix Festival? No. Planning starts now. And for the first time ever, St. Croix Christmas Festival is going to be under the supervision of our Department of Tourism. It remains to be seen whether the government bureaucracy can run festival better than a semi-private festival committee. There may even be more money. For the first time ever, our Department of Tourism can target advertising dollars on stateside markets around the idea of coming here for our festivals. That could be a huge win. Or the whole thing might get mired in bureaucracy. Senators approved a bill to ban the sale of certain kinds of sunscreen products that contain oxybenzone and octinoxate. The argument has been made that those chemicals are harmful to the coral reef. But wait a minute, it's worse. Those chemicals are harmful to humans. They disrupt the human endocrine system, causing early puberty in girls and low sperm count in boys. See, you can champion coral reef all day long, but something that causes infertility in men, that gets action. The bad news is there's a tropical storm out there. Andrea is the first storm of the 2019 hurricane season. The great news is that Andrea is nowhere near here and not coming in our direction. And even better, this storm formed so far north. Now, when you look at past years with early storms way north, that means they tend to stay north all season. We shall see. We may have a season of unusual storms that do not track across our island. But nevertheless, one down, only 13 or 14 to go. Thanks for watching. This is Alex Randall with News and Comment. Now back to Leslie.
Alex, now here's Gary with some soccer highlights for News 2 Sports. Gary?
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. The St. Croix Junior Varsity Soccer Finals at the new soccer field in Bethlehem featured two teams on a roll. The Good Hope Country Day School Panthers versus the Arthur Richards Junior High School Suns. Under cloudy conditions with a little bit of rain sprinkled in, both teams showed off their technical skills and athleticism. However, the tone for the game was set when Panthers goalkeeper Joshua Miles Rogers made a spectacular save on a penalty kick. The Panthers took control afterwards. Jacques Dangar scored the only goal of the first half. In the second half, the Panthers found their groove with goals by Finlay Miller, Jacques Dangar, Finlay Miller again, and Khalil Francis. All told, the Panthers got 5 second-half goals on their way to a 6-0 win, an undefeated season, and a 2019 St. Croix Soccer Junior Varsity Championship.
Tell us about how you stopped that penalty kick.
Well, first I look at where their feet are positioned and where their eyes are moving. And usually they try and trick me, so like going off. And then I usually watch where their foot is targeting, because when you kick the ball, you usually keep your left foot next to the ball to where you're kicking. And I usually watch that to see what angle they're going to kick.
So how'd you feel after you made that stop?
I felt great, because that was like the first great save that I've made on one of those big goals.
How's it feel to be the champion?
It feels great, because this is my first year in JV, so moving up to a bigger league, bigger kids, bigger competition. And
what was the secret to your team's success?
Just passing the ball and finishing. And the defense played amazing, the midfield plays amazing, and of course me and the other finishers played amazing. Everyone played great.
How's it feel to be a champion?
It feels awesome. Amazing.
I think the key to our victory was playing as a team and working hard.
How's it feel to be a champion?
It feels great.
I'm very proud of the team. To say that we started off slowly. We have 9 elementary players. We practice hard, we practice regular, and we practice together. We're undefeated. We conceded 1 goal and scored about 60. So today's game and this field, our new stadium, I'm more than proud, more than happy. Great job by my team. All the girls was excellent. I'm proud of all of them.
That's it for sports. Have a fabulous Memorial Day weekend. Leslie, back to you.
Those interviews were fantastic. Thank you for that, Gary. And that's it for our show tonight. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube and on via Channel 4 and 504, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Remember, no newscast on Monday in observance of Memorial Day, but tune in on Wednesday for coverage of our various Memorial Day events throughout the community. Follow us on social media, tag us on any stories you want to see, or send us a message on Messenger. You can also email us at newsdirector@tv2.vi. Thanks again for joining us on TV2. I'm Leslie Comisión. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend.